Today's date is April 21st, 2020, Tuesday. The time is approximately 3:50 p.m. I'm just at my 101 Lorne Avenue residence. There's no one here. I have several recorders going on. I have my Sony digital voice recorder at 7 hours and 50 minutes. And this recorder I leave on pretty well 24 hours a day. This is the secondary recorder that just captures what needs to be captured. I also have the laptop. I spoke to it briefly for a few minutes, and this is going to be made. This video, cell phone video, it's going to be converted to a YouTube video. Is going to be made out to Minister of Families, Heather Stefanson, also the Deputy Premier. I'm going to be attempting to address my concerns to her right away. Hopefully, I can be able to be afforded some witness security protection from the things I'm pursuing here. To be brief. Today is 15 years from the day that my mother received this award here, volunteer award from the Premier. So that would have been April 21st, 2005, the 22nd volunteer awards. And I'm going to be alleging my landlord. I suspect that he's most likely a participant in the conspiracy, harassment, intimidation, and the activities surrounding my mother's the circumstance of my mother's death. He concerns me. What I'm concerned at is my mother. The evidence that I have is that they mocked my mother and me as to how the lengths they went to committing these crimes against my family and my mother. Particularly, I just wanted to note that I sent a Freedom of Information request to Chief Justice Glenn Joyle. That would have been, I believe, February 21st. I attended the legislative building and I submitted this request. I expressed some concerns respecting the color aqua here being used to possibly harass and intimidate and mock. And the reason I show this used to be my mother's shirt, this tank top, and I used to give her a hard time, and I explained it to the reason of her. And this is to show that right away. This key, this aqua key, was given to us by my landlord, Brennan Ryan. Which is fine. It's a color, which is fine. The previous key before that ended up in our possession was a Mickey Mouse key. So these two keys together, plus my complaint or a FIPA application I put in the Chief Justice Glenn Joyle, which no one has been responding. I suspect major corruption, conspiracy level corruption at this point. What concerns me is when my mother was passing away, this shirt right here, this is a wrapped up shirt that was given from Lori Dawson. And the date of this shirt reads October 3rd, 2004 on the front. And there's other wordings on the shirt that I don't want to disclose today, but I will be disclosing in it with whoever it may be. But the day that this shirt would have been the day of October 3rd, 2019. That would have been the day that Lori attempted to try to tell me about my mother having cancer and that she was going to be, I pushed her out of the room. I was right here when she tried to tell me it, and I knew about the shirt right away, and that's why I kind of pushed him out of the room. And again, there's other things going on with this shirt, and the gesture of this being around it suggests that they were teasing and mocking me and my mother for many years about what they were going to do to us. So my concern at this point is my landlord, Brendan, came to my residence today. Today is the 15th anniversary of my mother's this award right here. And last time I spoke to Brendan, he was giving me a hard time about noise complaints that the upstairs neighbor and Stefan, a guy that was coming here to fix the electricity problems, whatever, that they made complaints that I was being too loud. And this was when I was asking Brennan since my mom's passed away since October, that if he could fix, if they can get the electricity, basic necessities in this house fixed. And he sent the guy Stefan, who did more damage than he helped, and then made a complaint that I was making too much noise. I don't know, but it was harassment. That is harassment. So the only time Brendan ever came to try and talk to me or anything was for me when I paid the rent, or when he was there pretty well harassing me. Today he came here and he took the meter, and I suspect he's going to try and disconnect the electricity and the water, the bills, on the fact that I haven't paid my rent. So I just wanted to make this video to show that I'm concerned that the last time I spoke to Brennan, there was the issues of the noise complaint. He came here in the evening time and said that he wanted to shoot my brother Braden a call, and I thought that was a bit the way he indicated it. And I told him my brother moved out, whatever it was. 2 days later, I had an incident with on Selkirk and Main Street on February 22nd, 2020. That would have been just outside of the Main Street Selkirk in Selkirk Avenue Pharmacy of Jordan there. And I almost got side doored with Jordan if I didn't drop certain items in my hand. And I suspect that could have been an attempt on my life by Jordan. I was trying to make allegations disclosable that day. So I find that funny, and then he comes here the day of my mother's of the volunteer award, right? And then the things, the aqua color, the key, the treatment, and that the fact that I've been paying rent, the full rent, and he hasn't been fixing anything in the house, and he's I have the reason to believe that he may cut off the electricity and the things of the house. I'm asking the premier or the deputy premier, families minister, if they could not do that. That the coronavirus is obviously going on, and that I'm in the midst of sending some sensitive emails to Heather Stefanson. I've been calling them record drafts at this point in time from my email account here. And I suspect I'm being subject to a powers of attorney fraud. But I'm sending these emails, and I'm hoping to have this formalized right away for a response, an official. And these records are being sent to Premier Heather Stefanson in respect to my concerns of government and police corruption here involved in my case, and that my safety and my family's safety is at risk based on the allegations. So far, I have sent this many records. This is my recording that I sent to Heather Stefanson. For example, the last one I sent would have been record draft 4/19/2020, or one of the requesting criminal property forfeiture order against Trudy Jaquetta and witness security relocation. And so anyways, I'm sending that. I have concern that my life's endangered, and I'm concerned that if Brendan's going to try to have the electricity and that stuff cut off, that I'm concerned that I might be being lured outside of this house for an attempt on my life to be made. So I'm asking the government of Manitoba and whoever may be getting this, if they can keep the electricity and that stuff on until hopefully in the beginning of the month I'd be able to provide a formal response. You're getting quite a bit of it right now and sending it as I go, but when I'm really ready to do it, I'll make my formal submission to the Manitoba government. Particularly this shirt. This is what concerns me, is that this shirt, obviously I'm alleging my mother's death was a first-degree murder conspiracy, that they t-shirted my mother, and there's the October 3rd date there when Laurie tried to come in. Other conspiracy dates within my case have all landed on birth dates and things like that. I mean, these complaints plenty, right? And I found it suspicious that my mother was, we were having a hard time about the shirt here. Like, I felt that she was doing it on purpose. I have video of some of the things that were going on. This shirt, they're taking their time to cause psychological harm by teasing and taunting us by the most, psychological harm. Like my mother's volunteer awards, right? So, and they're picking dates, and I noticed this letter came from Paul Vukmanich. This letter was dated sent out October 3rd, 2014. And the letter inside, this is going to be an explosive letter. The date is September 16th, 2014. And that day would have been the date that the media made announcements of the Patrick Chief Christian homicide, or when they, and then this would have been the date of incident Stony Mountain Institution with Jordan Morcott. I believe that may have been a conspiracy incident, and also a birthday within a former family relative. And many of the incidents have happened on birth dates within the family and these crimes could not have been possible without the government. So I look at the source of this letter, the dates of it, and the fact that the guy that ordered the conspiracy and attempted murders, Ernesto Crushane, allegedly, it was inmate Paul Vukmanich, who was the one that told me he was sent out to BC to be stabbed 20 times, kind of deal. So with that, there's government implications. My mother being T-shirted, that there's other things on their shirt that I wish to share with maybe a public face, maybe even Tabitha Spear or someone that may be able to report this. And in the meantime, I think the obstructions, I reported July 25th, 2019, I made a formal complaint or a 911 call about an intimidation incident from Lori Dawson and the Winnipeg Police. For 9 months, I haven't replied to that. So I'm concerned that these obstructions by the Winnipeg Police and the government of Manitoba are being used to participate in the activities of these government conspiracies to commit essentially death and serious harm on towards me and my family, and among other things. So at present time, I'm just asking if there's going to be an issue where my landlord is requesting for this stuff, the services to be shut off, that you guys will not let that happen. That I'm going to be making final submissions to you guys soon, by the first week of May here. I'm also concerned that if I go outside, that I may be subject to an assassination attempt. I know the allegations I'm pursuing are absolutely serious, and people are going to be losing their jobs and careers in some instances. So I'm concerned, and given what happened February 22nd, 2020 on Main Street in Salkirk there, plus the birthday conspiracy timeline involved in my case with politics, the T-shirting of my mother, the involvement of the Justice Department, the dates, the aqua color, so I'm concerned that my safety is at risk in being in this city, that they're pretty well allowed to do what they want. This is all to say I have USB chips and voice recorders in this laptop. I don't think it's going to last too long. But I record everything. As long as I have the recorder and access to a laptop to transfer the files, it should be fine. But I'm going to be making final submissions. And I'm just going to be asking the government of Manitoba if they could respond to me within the next week or two and possibly consider having us, me and my family, the people that are at risk, relocated after my, in light of my allegations that are going to be moving forward here. And I think I will leave it at that. Or, I'm going to try to call Heatherson Stefanson's office. I'll be right back. I'll write the notes down later. Okay. Page number 318. April 26. And the number for her office is 945-4173. So I'm just going to try to call Heather Stefanson right now at her office and tell her about my emails. So the number I'll be calling is 204-945-4173. 4173.
Minister of Family's office.
Hello, my name is Curtis Hastings calling, and I'm just having some some issues with my landlord. I would like to get some of my concerns communicated to Heather Stefanson, the minister.
Okay. Is it a Manitoba housing building, Curtis?
What? Pardon me?
Is it a Manitoba housing building?
No. This has to do with the families department and along with the health department. And the reason I'm bringing it is because I'm concerned that I'm going to be subject to my landlord. Is there a way I can have my attention brought for Heather Stefanson to look at a YouTube channel so she can just look at the things that I'm posting rather than me calling all the time? Is that a possibility?
I can leave her a message. I'm not entirely sure. If you give me a bit of an idea what the situation is, maybe.
Well,
It's an apartment that you're calling with concerns about?
no, I'm calling from a residence, a house in Lorne in Point Douglas. The concern is that I'm addressing the issue to her as the deputy premier as well. So my concern is that I'm concerned the landlord. We've been having disagreements. He hasn't been fixing nothing in the house. I haven't been keeping up with the rent. My mother had recently passed away, so there's a lot of things going on. Plus the corona. I'm expecting to be evicted as soon as they loosen the restrictions for coronavirus, and I'm saving the money that I'm getting from EIA to prepare for that move. And I'm also making correspondences on my email right now to your guys' office right now, and this explains in great detail a lot of my concerns. And I just want to be sure that the minister is receiving this stuff. Would you be able to see if that she can pay attention to her email, and that I'll be calling in the next day or two to confirm the emails that I'll be sending by tomorrow lunchtime?
Okay, what is the email address that you're going to be using, Curtis, just so I know it's the right one?
Okay, and the email address that I'm using, it's my Google account, and the name is...
Sending it to the MinFS email?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and have you spoken with Minister Fielding's office as well about this? He's in charge also of the residential tenancies branch.
Well, what happened is for the last 3 years, I have a lot of evidence here of a possible powers of attorney fraud, and it's implicating the government, including the ministers here, because they're not responding to nothing.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into everything. That's why I said I have a YouTube video, and instead of trying to explain everything, maybe if Minister Heather Stefanson got the YouTube, not the video, but a YouTube channel and my emails, then she would have a better idea of what I'm talking about rather than trying to explain it.
Yeah, okay, I can give her assistant a heads up as well. You said you'll be sending them to the office tomorrow?
I'll be sending them out throughout the days because this sensitive issue has to do with police corruption and organized crime and some other issues. And I've, like I said, I tried to take this up with other ministers, the Justice Department, the Premier's office, and the only office from the government that's been responsive is to my concerns in my case is Heather Stephanson's office. So that's why I'm doing this with her, right? Or trying to anyway.
Sure.
So.
And did you say that your landlord was going to be evicting you, Curtis?
No, he has not provided me any formal eviction notice or nothing. But I'm concerned because he came here today to check on a meter, and my concern is that I'm being subject to like harassment from him. Their harassment about my mother's death, and I don't want to go into all the details because it's just speculation, right? But I made a video. I'm making recordings of this right now. So, and I explained it in depth before calling you. So if Heather Stefanson was to see the video of this conversation, she would know exactly what I'm talking about, and it would make sense to her immediately.
Sure, I can give her assistant a heads up as well, Curtis, to let him know that it's coming in by email.
And I'll be calling tomorrow as well, just to confirm, because these are sensitive emails, and I expect that this is going to catch a lot of media attention as well. Okay, my YouTube or my Google account information for this one is Curtis CAFC 2019-44-2019 Hastings.
Okay.
And the email for that is FPS
Yes.
138 205 curtis@gmail.com.
Curtis with a K?
Yes, and I will be sending the YouTube information through the email. So I'll be sending the YouTube information and the whatever the HTTPS numbers are and everything.
Okay.
And again, I'll be calling tomorrow. But my immediate concern is that I'm going to be left in a house with no electricity, no water, and things like that, or I'm going to be evicted. That's my immediate concern,
Okay.
and that I should be able to go from there.
Okay, Curtis, sounds good, and I'll give them a heads up that you're sending that in.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. So there's that. I spoke to the, gave her my Google account information, and I should be good from there. So I'm at 8 hours. And another reason, I didn't want to go into length of the intimidation, possible harassment activities from Brendan, because it's unsubstantiated speculation at this point. But the reason I'm doing this, and it's not because I'm on welfare and I need to keep the electricity on, and well, I do, but it's not because I'm hurting or whatever, right? It's because Brendan came here on a day that signifies the anniversary of 15 years ago of my mother's award here. And the previous conversation I had, or not previous, but one of the conversations I had before was him wanting to shoot Braden with a call. Plus the things that I presented, and there's more items. I just haven't pulled everything out. And right now, in the present, all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work and make sure that I can get everything that I can in to pursue my legal complaints and options here, and get out here and relocate. If the government doesn't want to assist me, then I want to be able to make my own case and be able to relocate myself if I have to, right? If that's what's obviously needed. So I'm going to leave the video at this here. I think that's good enough.